All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Unscripted. I'm your host and producer, Logan Landers, and joining me to talk about some Thursday Night Football game preview, as well as the Chicago Bears' disappointing 0-2 start. Up top, my guy, Jay McLovin. What's up, Jay?
Not too much. Good to be here, brother. Let's have a good show.
Let's do it, man. And down below me, the resident stat guy of Unscripted, our guy, Dustin Reese. What's going on?
Oh, not much, guys.
All right, I feel you on that. Well, hey, guys, if you enjoyed the episode today, please like, comment, share, and subscribe on the following social media platforms: Facebook, X, TikTok, YouTube, and on Twitch for some amazing weekly content. We're doing a lot of game previews and reviews right now with the football season in full swing. We're also talking some baseball, basketball when it is necessary, and all of the other sports. We're trying to get everything covered as much as we can. So Thursday Night Football in just a few short days. The Giants and the 49ers, who's walking away with this one and who is getting the win? Dustin, we'll start off with you.
I mean, do we really need to have this conversation?
Yes, we do, because we need content. So, yes, we do.
If the Giants are in this game at halftime, they should consider it a win.
A little half win.
Yeah, I mean, You saw how they played against Dallas's defense in week 1, got the ever-living crap kicked out of them. You saw how they looked against the Cardinals for basically 2.5 quarters, got the ever-living crap kicked out of them. And now you're facing arguably the top defense, depending on who you ask, again in week 3. And guess what? You're going to get the ever-living crap kicked out of you. Not having Saquon Barkley is really not going to help your case, because now you're putting more pressure on Daniel Jones to try to beat the 49ers defense by himself. Well, that's not going to work, because the 49ers are just going to let him beat them and probably blitz 6 or 7 guys at a time and just pound him into submission. Brock Purdy could probably win this game with one hand tied behind his back and throwing the ball backwards for all I care. I don't know. I think this game is going to be 38-7, maybe. Giants might not even get a touchdown. They might get a field goal, but this is like, it's as nice as it is to have Thursday night games. NFL needs to start coming up with like a flex schedule for Thursday night games. Because how many times the last 3 years have we had a Thursday night game that just completely blows? Because it's either 2 crappy teams, it's one really good team and one really crappy team, and the games are over by halftime where they're just pitiful to watch. Granted, I understand Thursday night games are hard to flex because you only have like that 3-day window or whatever, but I don't know. Thursday night games like this just make me not even want to watch the game, because if you're going to have a team just getting completely destroyed, your viewership's going to go down anyways, apart from San Francisco and New York markets who are going to watch it.
It is certainly a dime a dozen every NFL season since they've been doing Thursday night games to really find a very good one. I don't think this one's going to live up to it. But Jay, give me your thoughts. Who's winning this one? I will say I did do a little bit of quick research. They've not officially ruled out Saquon yet, but he is listed as doubtful on ESPN. So
I mean,
that was Brian Dable who said that, which obviously
you have a sprained ankle going against the 49ers defense. You might as well not even play because you're going to be completely useless.
Yeah. So, Jay, do the Giants have any chance of getting points on the board, let alone winning?
Yeah, let me go and give you the preview. The preview I got for this game is 35-7. And if you have Barkley or pretty much anybody on your fantasy team from the team of the Giants, I would go ahead and bench them this game. Giants had an amazing comeback versus Arizona, no doubt, but that will not happen here. However, in a comma, if you were lucky enough to draft Christian McCaffrey, Debo, Ayuk, or anybody that's related to 49ers offense and or defense, go ahead and play them at will because you will have a feast of a day. I got this 35-7, and I'm only giving it 7 because I think maybe, I don't know, somebody in Giants land will pull off a victory and just get the 7 points, much less the loss. Barkley hurt his ankle, as we know, but it looks like it's not a high ankle sprain. It's just a regular sprain. And because it's a regular sprain, they might be able to just tape that up and send him on his way. I personally would say if you're in fantasy football, go draft Breda. I think at some point, I still believe that at some point he is going to play more significantly because I think Barkley goes down with injury. Like, it's more significant at some point because we all know Barkley is just an injury away. I just feel like he's always an injury away. So I always handcuff Breda in fantasy with Barkley if you can, because at some point I feel like Breda's going to be in there. San Francisco defense will be much more. Let's put this way: San Francisco's defense is going to feast on Jones. Mm-hmm. Jones is going to get tore the hell up, I think, in this game. And I think this is going to be very similar to the Dallas game where Dallas went 40-0. I'm just giving them 7 points just to be nice, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking at another 40-0. I think McCaffrey, Debo, Ayuk will destroy them. I think San Francisco's defense is going to destroy them. I think Jones has 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Who has 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions on the season thus far, is just going to get annihilated. So if I'm Giants and you're a fantasy and you have anything related to the Giants, please bench them. Please do not play them.
I already benched Saquon.
My quick analysis on this one, give me the 49ers 30. Only because they scored 30 in both their games, so why not go for a three-peat? 30-7, final score for me. I just think that San Francisco, they're more healthy. They have a better team. And look, it's highly unlikely that Saquon's going to play. Daniel Jones needs to have a phenomenal game if they have any chance of winning. And he's not shown that as of yet. Like I said, they got the good comeback win, which, good for them, but it's against the Cardinals. And the Cardinals are not looking so hot. This is not the Cardinals, though. This is a lot better. So, once again, give me 49ers win this one with ease. All right, guys. So we're all in agreement on that. And now we decided, let's look at a team who we feel is disappointing, who has let people down, who had a lot of hype in the offseason, but just has not lived up to it through, once again, just 2 games. And so far, and this is going to be our analysis of the Chicago Bears. So, Jay, we'll let you go first. Dustin, we'll have you as the main event because I know you have a lot of stuff ready for this one. So, Jay, go ahead, take it away, and give us your thoughts on the Bears as a whole team in general.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we called this the 0-2 Bears, but I really think, Logan, we could have did a little bit better with this. And had 0-3 and just called it a Nostradamus prophecy that it's going to be 0-3 because they're playing the Chiefs.
Kansas City.
Yeah, that's a.
And I don't know they're playing Kansas City, but they're playing in Kansas City of all things. So why don't we just go on ahead and say and prophesy this is 0-3? Thank you, because I think that really is a foregone conclusion that the Bears are going to start 0-3. It's just going to happen. Fields currently is 40-66 on the season for 427 total yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and that's where he stands right now. And this is against a team that was Green Bay, and who did they play last week, Logan?
Tampa.
And Tampa. Okay, so Green Bay and Tampa. And that's his stat line against Green Bay and Tampa. Fields is a leading rusher on the team. Let me say it again. Fields is the leading rusher on the team. 13 carries, 62 yards. It just doesn't look good for Chicago. I don't know why Khalil Herbert is not more involved in this in this running game than what he is, because clearly Fields is not the guy to get the job done. Look, these guys passed up, and it's okay to pass up if you want to pass up on Stroud, if you want to pass up on Young. I'm not big fans of those guys anyway. I totally get that. Hendon Hooker, though, I think you could have traded at some point and got a Hendon Hooker and put him behind Fields, because I think Fields, like Dustin will tell in a minute, when he goes, he's an Ohio guy, and none of us on this panel, and Logan, I'm going to speak for you because I think I can, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't think anybody here believes that anything that comes out of the world of Ohio in the form of a quarterback is going to amount to a damn thing. Bears defense gives up 337 yards, passing 245, run 92. KC averages 90 rushes per game. So what does that mean? If you add up the numbers, the Bears give up 92. KC averages 90. That means what I expect from KC versus this Bears team is to probably rack up over 100 yards on them. I really do believe that, and I think Kelsey goes off, and I think at some point Kadarius Toney gets the butter off of his fingers and starts grabbing catches, and Sky Moore I think starts grabbing catches. I think it goes to 0-3. But let me put this clear, and this is where I'm going to end it. If you don't think that Justin Fields is a bust, let me tell you how Justin Fields is a bust. He went up against Green Bay. He went 24 of 37, 216, a touch and a pick, 4 sacks, and a QBR at 22.8. He then goes up against Tampa and gives up 16 for or complete 16 of 29 for 211, a touch and 2 picks and 6 sacks with a QBR of 23.1. And you don't think Justin Fields is a bust? He is. Let me go ahead and tell you, Justin Fields is a bust. And if I'm Chicago, I'm doing everything I can in my power for whatever value Fields may still have left in that crappy little Ohio State body of his, and I'm trading him for picks, and I'm going to do everything I can in my power to go into 2024 draft, and I'm going to do everything I can to get number 1. And if you want to go for Penix, if you want to go for Williams, if you want to go for May, you're going to come out better than you are with this piece of crap doo-doo, Justin Fields. I'm done.
Strong words from Jay. Dustin, I'm assuming you're going to resound that and with your statistical expertise. So please, slice and dice the Chicago Bears team.
Well, before I slice and dice them, I'm going to make a bold prediction and say Patrick Mahomes is going to throw for 500 yards against Chicago this weekend, with probably over 350 by the half, because the Bears secondary is god-awful. They let Baker Mayfield throw for 360. And if Baker Mayfield's throwing for 360 against you, yeah, Patrick Mahomes is he's going to make this team look like an 8th grade team.
If you're facing Mahomes in fantasy, I'm sorry.
If you have Travis Kelce or Patrick Mahomes in fantasy this week, this is going to look like a NFL team going up against a middle school team. It's not going to be pleasant. And the Bears are not only going to be 0-3, but going back to last season, they are now going to have 13 consecutive losses. This is by far the worst team in football. A dumpster fire would be calling this lightly. They are a complete train wreck, a complete joke of an organization, and an organization that needs an entire overhaul. Ownership, president, coaching staff, personnel, everything top to bottom needs to be wiped clean, and they need to go into like a 5-year rebuild. Just wipe everything clean, hire or sell your team to a new owner, let that new owner hire a new president, let that president hire a new GM, let that GM hire a new coach, and start fresh from scratch, because this team is so far away from competing, it's not even funny. You look at Justin Fields, first-round pick. How many times does an NFL team need to realize that Ohio State quarterbacks that play like Justin Fields never pan out in the NFL? JT Barrett, 3rd-round pick. Didn't even last 2 years in the NFL. Cardale Jones, first-round pick. Lasted 1 year in the NFL and then ended up in the XFL. Dwayne Haskins, first-round pick. Started 14 games, looked like complete crap, and then obviously we know what happened after that. Troy Smith, great 2 years at Ohio State, second-round pick, got turned into a wide receiver because he couldn't throw worth a lick. The last Ohio State quarterback that had any longevity in the NFL was Craig Krenzel, who was an 11-year backup in the 90s. That goes to show you that Ohio State quarterbacks do not pan out for two reasons. Reason number one, Ohio State has the best talent at every single offensive skill position in the country. Right up there with Alabama, right up there with Texas, right up there with UNC. Every position that these quarterbacks have, they have a top 10 running back, a top 10 wide receiver, a top offensive line. Of course, you're going to look like an outstanding quarterback when you have the best talent around you. When you get drafted to the NFL, you don't have that talent anymore. And if you're used to having that talent, you're going to have to figure out how to adjust on your own. And Justin Fields has not only failed to adjust, but he has regressed in every aspect of the game. The one thing that Justin Fields does well is use his legs. And basically, it's a busted play where he's running for his life pretty much and turns what looks to be a 20-yard loss into about a 30, 40-yard gain. For whatever reason, the Bears thought it would be a great idea this year to make him a pocket passer and not let him run. And every single defensive coordinator in the NFL is sending the Bears Christmas cards right now and saying thank you because now they don't have to chase him around. Justin Fields said this offseason he wanted to become a better passer. Well, here's a nice stat for you guys to realize how much Justin Fields has regressed.
Ooh, please tell us.
When given 5 seconds to pass, which is basically elite pass protection if you have more than 4 seconds to pass.
Ample time.
About 3 to 4, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say 3 to 4 is great, but 5 is just
the other 31 quarterbacks in the NFL are completing 77.6% of their passes when they're given at least 5 seconds to throw. When given 5 seconds to throw, Justin Fields is 20 for 47 with 3 interceptions, 4 sacks, and 2 fumbles. What that tells me is not only is he not comfortable in the pocket, but he has no idea how to read a defense. He has no idea what to look for when he's given time to throw. And if that ball's not out of his hand in 3 seconds, he is screwed. And the Bears may have ruined him a little bit, obviously, because they're not putting him in a position to succeed. But every single game, he is showing that he can't read a defense. He is not a pocket passer. And the offense that the Bears have, they need a pocket passer. And the Bears are not doing him any favors. But at this point, if you're Chicago and you get the number 1 pick, you need to go after Caleb Williams. Because otherwise, you're going to be stuck with Justin Fields another 2 years because he still got his 5th-year option, and you're not going to get any better than where you're sitting right now. Chicago Bears are on the verge, in my opinion, of going 1-16 this year, possibly 2-15. And last year they were 3-14. This team is in such trouble right now that you could go down and look at this offseason as the worst offseason in franchise history, even though everyone thought it was going to improve this team so much, because they might have to blow it up because it's not going to get them anywhere.
No. So I'm going to give my piece, and I'm just going to ask a quick question for y'all to wrap things up. One way to describe this season for Chicago Bears fans, and mostly just for Justin Fields, because, look, man, you're the quarterback. Everyone's got your eyes on you. That's how it works here. Just indecisive. I mean, Dustin just read you that stat. When you have a lot of time in the pocket, and you can find clips of this on YouTube. You can find it on Twitter, where he has an open receiver, another open receiver, but he just either doesn't see them, he isn't looking that way, or he's too worried about pressure coming in on him that his first instinct, Dustin, is to scramble.
And he's not even doing that right now. If you have
Exactly.
5 seconds to pass and you're not going to throw it,
Right.
tuck the damn ball and run 12 yards.
Right. But I think it's just indecisiveness. It's not knowing where to go with the ball, not knowing whether to throw it or to run it. And that's something that we can't fix watching it. That's something he has to fix in practice and in games.
You know what I often wonder, though, honestly, Logan's stat guy for your guys' opinion on this real quick. Is you see where he is as a quarterback? How much ownership is on the quarterback, and how much ownership is on the quarterback coach?
I'm putting it 50-50 because Luke Getsy's the offensive coordinator. Okay. He came from Green Bay where he was working with Aaron Rodgers. You cannot expect Justin Fields to be Aaron Rodgers because they're not the same type of quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is a pocket passer who likes to dissect the defense and can get rid of a ball under 4 seconds and pretty much do whatever he wants. That's not Justin Fields' strength. Justin Fields' strength is to roll out of the pocket, use his legs to either buy time to find an open receiver, or use his legs to pick up a first down. You were letting him do that last year, and despite going 3-14,
he looked pretty decent.
Justin Fields still had almost 3,000 yards passing and over 1,000 yards rushing, so he showed plenty of growth last year. But now all of a sudden you had a brilliant idea to be like, let's not let Justin Fields run. Let's let him be a pocket passer. And yes, he's averaging a career high 212 passing yards per game right now. But what is that getting you when you're taking the best element of his game out of the equation? It's getting you 17 points per game offensively, which is not going to win you a lot of games. And when your defense still blows, giving up over 400 yards of offense and over 30 points per game, you're screwed. And that's
so let me ask you this. So where would you if 10 is elite and 1 is just a dumpster fire, where do we rank Chicago's O-line?
8, because they are missing 2 starters.
Yeah.
Tevin Jenkins, who was a second-round pick in 2021, has battled with injury since he came into this league, and nobody knows when he's going to even be 100% healthy. Then you have a rookie in Darnell Wright who's still trying to figure things out. They have another guard, I think Larry Borum, that's hurt. So 2 of their 5 starters are out. They had Alex Leatherwood in camp, who was a top 10 pick 3 years ago, who they cut. So, I mean, the Bears' offensive line is not doing them any favors.
No.
Because last year they went from being the number 1 rushing team in the NFL to this year being ranked 30 out of 32 right now.
So, and just a quick question before we wrap things up. How do the Bears, if you're playing armchair GM, what do you do? Then it'd be specific moves, but what's something that you address to get this team back on track for this season? Not for next season or years in the future, but for this season, how they turn around this 0-2, potentially 0-3 start for this campaign?
There's nothing they can do. They spent $100 million on the defense this offseason, trying to improve the defense, bringing in TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds, 2 of the top linebackers in the NFL, getting Yannick Ngakoue, the top pass rusher in the NFL, I forgot the guy's name, but he played with the Raiders last year. You would know his name, but I can't remember. He was like one of their big pass rushers with the Raiders last year that they added to the defensive line. They have Kyler Gordon, Eddie Jackson, Jaquan Brisker, Jalen Johnson in the secondary. So the defense was supposed to be the most improved unit on this team because of the money they invested in it.
Oh, Khalil Mack.
No, not Khalil Mack.
Oh, no, my bad. Yeah, sorry, no. He.
God, what the heck is
let me ask you this. So, Dustin, let me ask you this. Okay, everybody knows. Everybody knows. Okay, this is the big thing, and I think this is the reason why Logan chose this 0-2 versus the Patriots 0-2. Because initially I suggested
Patriots was
0-2, but Logan suggested the Bears 0-2, and I went along with it, and I still go along with it because I see where Logan was going with this, and I really think Logan. By the way, number 1, you picked the better one to go with for a lot of reasons, but I think the biggest reason is this. And Logan, if I'm wrong, you tell me. Dustin, Logan, both you guys. The Bears had a crap ton.
He almost got him.
There you go. We had a crap. They had a crap ton of picks.
Yep.
They had a whole lot of cap to really revamp this team.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Dustin and Logan, however y'all want to work it out,
I'll go first.
Do you think the Bears did the best with everything they had to work with to get this team where it should be?
No, because if you've had the number 1 overall pick, Jay, and you traded it for DJ Moore, who has not lived up to any expectations, because we go back to the root of this problem, and that he's just not getting the ball enough. This offense is ice cold. When you average under 20 points a game, you ain't gonna win many ball games. So if you would have had that number 1 overall pick and drafted literally anyone else, it probably would have went better. Imagine if they got Bijan Robinson. I mean, just look what he's done for Atlanta. I mean, we talked about.
Absolutely. That's a good point.
Any other player other than trading it away for for DJ Moore and whatever else they picked up, obviously some other draft picks for the near future, but I'm talking about immediately, it's not worth it. They were the definition of let's throw a bunch of money at these guys and see what we can do, and it did not pan out. I mean,
Logan. Had they gone with, but Logan, based on that, had they gone with Bijan Robinson, and Justin Fields is a running quarterback who does throw the ball, right?
Yes.
How much would Bijan have really helped them? Because what I mean by that is Desmond Ridder, he's not a run first guy.
Right.
I think Fields is kind of a run first throw, whatever. Would that have really helped them? Because I think that would have taken away maybe a little bit from what Justin Fields kind of does bring to the table.
I feel like it would have at least diversified their offense because through 2 games this year, they have 45 carries for only 189 yards as a team. I mean, the Falcons just did that last week, I think.
Mm-hmm. And you can run the triple option in the read option with Bijan Robinson, so the defense has to guess who has the ball.
And that's what I also think that's what hurt them too, is they don't have really any running back that's going to strike fear into your heart. I mean,
I get all that you're saying. So really, it goes to you. You kind of heard. What do you think? You kind of heard what Logan had to say about how you feel about how the Bears handled the draft situation and the cap situation. Look, this Bears team had the fruits of everything at their feet.
Yep.
What do you think the Bears should have done differently, Dustin?
Well, I'm okay with trading away the number 1 pick for DJ Moore because they needed a number 1 wide receiver. They got one in DJ Moore, plus they set themselves up to get potentially a top 3 pick this year. So it's not like that move hurt them that much. The big thing to me is going back to 2018, this is who the Bears have traded. Khalil Mack, Kyle Fuller, Roquan Smith, Danny Trevathan, and Robert Quinn. Where do all those guys play?
I'm guessing
they were all on the defense. They were all on the front section on defense.
Yeah.
And they accounted for 95% of the Bears' sacks the last 3 years. What have they done to replace those 5 people? They brought in Yannick Ngakoue, and that is it. So not only do the Bears not have a pass rush, but you got rid of Roquan Smith, who averages 135 tackles a year.
I thought it was a bad move on their part. I thought they should have resigned that guy.
And the two linebackers that you signed this year in Edmonds and TJ Edwards had 110 tackles combined between the 2 of them last year. That's not even what Roquan Smith does on his own. Yes, you have a very good secondary, and I'm not going to say the Bears' secondary is not good because they are good. But the reason why the numbers are so bad is because the Bears can't get any pressure on the quarterback. If you can't pressure a quarterback, I don't care who is in your secondary and how good your secondary is, you are going to get absolutely torn apart. And that's exactly
that really is a tag team, isn't it, Dustin? Isn't it a tag team between the cornerback and the defensive end, or the cornerback and the linebacker to work hand in hand together? Number 1, put pressure and also defend well to really defeat the passing game.
Because remember the stat I said about having 5 seconds to throw and how Justin Fields is 20 for 47?
Yeah.
In 2 games this year with Jordan Love and Baker Mayfield, those 2 combined are 21 for 22 for 297 yards and 6 touchdowns when they're given 5 seconds to throw.
There you go, Logan.
That's all
That's if you cannot pressure the quarterback, a quarterback is going to pick you apart. And yet Justin Fields cannot do that on the offensive end. Granted, his offensive line is not great, which the Bears should have spent more time in the offseason addressing the offensive line, but they also should have spent more time addressing the defensive line to get more pressure on the quarterback, because right now you have Yannick Ngakoue and DeMarcus Walker. Those are your 2 pass rushers, and outside of Ngakoue, nobody else on that team has ever had more than 5 sacks in a year.
All right, look, you got 10 seconds. We got to get out of here. I got one last question.
Go ahead.
Dustin, can Justin Fields read the defense to call the correct audible?
No, he can't.
All right. And on that note, thanks guys so much for tuning in. Jay, Dustin, awesome discussion as well. Also, go check out our channel for all the other social media stuff we do as well. Facebook, X, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. Once again, Jay, Dustin, pleasure. I've been your host, Logan Landers. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone. Talk to you again later.